According to the 2013 Kids and Family Reading Report, having reading role model parents or access to a large reading collection has a greater impact on children's reading skills than even income. Research also shows that when families read together, children tend to do a whole lot better in school and beyond. Joining us this morning to talk about this, author KWAME Alexander, who is a NEWBERY award-winning author of the book, The Crossover. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Laura. How are you?
Great, and congratulations on this honor. It is obviously a well-deserved. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. Thank you. It's so very exciting. It's otherworldly.
Well, let's talk about the book, The Crossover. Explain to the folks at home the premise of the book and what it means to be honored in this way.
Well, it means the world. I mean, when you're a writer, you have one goal. You want to write a good book. When you're a writer who really wants to sort of have an impact on the world, you have another a major goal, and that is to hopefully impact young people. And so when I set out to write this book about two brothers who are basketball stars and have a loving family and have a strong bond, and what happens when their family bond sort of starts coming apart. When I set out to write that book, I knew I wanted reluctant readers. I wanted boys. I wanted kids who weren't interested necessarily in the power of reading or didn't know they were, to pick up this book and not be able to put it down. So it's just quite rewarding to see, you know, to get this award, to win this NEWBERY medal, which is so historic and so just phenomenal.
Well, it is so important to start reading young, and let's talk a little bit about that. You mentioned getting the reluctant readers reading, and that's kind of really how you do it, is you make something that appeals to them, maybe something they can relate with. But why is it so important for kids to start reading at a very young age? I mean, I hear, like, even in utero that you should be reading to your children. When they're infants, you should be reading to them. So why is it so important?
Oh, I mean, and I did that, Laura. I mean, I read to my daughter, who's now 6. You know, before she was even born, I would read to my wife and now, you know, at 3 years old, she was reading on her own. And of course, now at 6, she's reading these, or trying to read these big fiction texts. And of course, some of them are inappropriate, and you want to encourage her, but you can't have her reading inappropriate work. But the beauty of it is that she's engaged with reading, that she's not only reading books, but she enjoys it. And that's what we as parents and teachers can offer to our children. If we can show them how excited we are about reading, then they're going to become excited about reading. So it's important to model it for them, to help them become not only better achievers in school, but better people in life.
Well, you're exactly right, and it seems like there are a lot of competing interests out there, whether it's television or the internet, and so it is really important to get the kids reading. And you're talking today a little bit about the PTA Family Reading Experience, and it's involved with Kindle. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Family Reading Experience is powered by Kindle, and you know, you talked about some of the distractions. I think what the Kindle e-reader does is it lessens the distractions. There are no distractions, and there are so many tools and accessibility features. So, for instance, imagine just being able to have 1,000 books in your hand. That just sounds odd to say it, but with the Kindle e-reader, you can. 1,000 or more books in your hand. And then you think about the accessibility tools. So one of the things that my daughter often does when we're reading at night or in the mornings when we wake up is, "Dad, what does this word mean?" And she'll see a really magnificent word, and she wants to know what the definition is. And of course, my response is always, look it up. Well, with the Kindle e-reader, she's now able to sort of find those definitions in the text. How exciting is that, to use Vocabulary Builder and WordWise to find these definitions in the text? It's so organic.
Well, yeah, instead of having to pull out the big dictionary, which is how I think I always did it.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, where can people go to get some more information on this?
Laura, they can go to Amazon.com/Kindle for Kids to get more information on the PTA Reading Experience, which is powered by Kindle, or to host a family reading experience in your community or your school. So that's Amazon.com/Kindle for Kids.
Okay, and then your book, The Crossover, who is it really aimed at? What sort of age groups are we looking at here? Who would really enjoy this book?
Well, if you ask me, Laura, I'd say from 0 to 99.
Right?
But of course, my publisher would say 4th grade and up. Okay. And I've seen children and families and parents and adults, you know, of sort of that span from 4th grade and up really enjoy it.
Okay, well, congratulations on the award. Definitely check out The Crossover by KWAME Alexander. Thanks so much for talking to us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll check in with Ron.